What is one easy thing to do with a spinnerbait that'll produce more strikes? Good morning, guys and girls, and happy 4th of July, one of the biggest celebration days in the entire United States of America. This holiday goes back a long time ago. Some of you probably don't even realize why we celebrate the 4th of July. And I'll talk about this a little bit more tomorrow, I think, during our catch of the day. But the 4th of July, Independence Day. Independence Day. Well, what is Independence Day? In fact, I think one of our little baby deer that we had born, I think we might name her Indy. Hadn't decided yet. The girls have got a big say in that. Well, they've got like a 99% say in the name of those babies. But might name that Indy for independence. And so I don't know if y'all saw the camera, but Chris shook her head no on that one. But Independence Day, when we declared our independence from the King of England. And can I tell you something? If you got about 10, 15 minutes today, sometime during the day, is Google up the Declaration of Independence. That was written by Thomas Jefferson. Perhaps the most smartest or the most intelligent guy that we have ever had in Washington, D.C. I mean, he was just simply smarter than everybody else. Thomas Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence, and it was an open letter that he wrote to the King of England. And in declaring independence for the 13 colonies, which eventually became the United States of America. So that is 1776, that'd be 244 years ago. The second longest standing form of government in the history of the world. It is being threatened right now, and we'll talk about that a little bit tomorrow. But amazingly, when I look at the Catch of the Day book, and y'all have been with me all along on this, know that, and by the way, we've added a couple, 200 or 300 new subscribers on Catch of the Day here recently, so I know a lot of y'all are sharing this with a lot of your friends and families, and just listening to this Catch of the Day and getting in God's Word every morning is going to make your friends and family and you a lot better person, and me a lot better person. It got a lot of effect on me too, I promise you that. But I wrote this book several years ago, and it's amazing as we read through these scriptures how living God's Word really is. Even though this book was written, I don't know, like 2005 or 10 or something like that, way back. Romans 12:21. Romans 12:21. Listen to this. Do not let evil defeat you, but defeat evil by doing good. If we have ever got to a place in the history of the United States of America where evil is rampant, it's right now. But here's what God says. Do not let evil defeat you, but defeat evil by doing good. That's us we're talking about. Defeat evil by doing good. And here's what I wrote about that. The drop shot technique can be dynamite in the hot summer months like right now. Almost everything about it is advantageous. In other words, almost everything about a drop shot is advantageous. You know, now, let me tell you, for those of you that might not know, a drop shot is where you have a weight on the bottom, and usually that's just a drop shot or a little bell sinker or a little specially made weight for the bottom. Some of the little weights, you got a little clip on there where you just slide your line in a little slot. And then you go up above it, 12, 14, 15, 20 inches, whatever you want to do, and you put your hook, and then you put a little small piece of plastic, usually a little short piece of plastic worm. You can use 6 or 7 inch plastic if you want, but usually a short piece of plastic, and you've got this up above it. So you got your bait on the bottom. When you jiggle your water around, that little bait's jumping around out there. And they're basically called a drop shot because you started fishing that technique by fishing straight up and down, which is still a great way to fish it without a doubt. But now we cast it out and fish it a lot of different ways. But just about everything about a drop shot is advantageous. Just using light line, and we actually use that on heavier line now too, but just using light line gives us a little help. With the weight on the bottom and the hook tied above the weight, we can really put a lot of action on these tiny, soft plastic baits. So that's an advantage. The smallness of the lure also is a distinct advantage. As the lakes get clear, the water gets hotter, smaller lures seem to get you a few more bites. Pretty much every aspect of doing good is positive. Pretty much every aspect of doing good is positive. And the devil hates it when we do good. We ought to do good just to upset the devil. With so much evil in the world, with so much evil in America right now, it's great to know We can defeat evil with good. That's what God says. Do not let evil defeat you, but defeat evil by doing good. When we're exhausted and we're put down with effort, we're put down by other people, our weapon is to pray for them and to do good to them. Now, I got to admit, a lot of what I've seen going on in America, it's real hard to pray for those people. It's real hard to do good for those people when they're doing evil to the country that I was born and raised in and I love with all my heart. But we need to be praying for them. We need to do good to them. When we do that, evil will be the loser. Evil will be the loser. So much going on in the country right now. We'll talk about that a little bit more in tomorrow's catch of the day after church. It seems like it's not getting better. It's getting a little worse. But we'll talk about that. We'll put a real good positive outlook on it too, because it is positive. It is positive. Even as bad as things are, a lot of positives in America right now. Here's our tip for the day. Bumping a stump or a log with your spinnerbait often produces a strike. That's right. You're simply running into something. We call it a deflection strike. Y'all have heard me for years talk about a deflection strike. That's when we take our spinnerbait and we got a stump or a log or something, bump it into it, make that bait just kind of move a little bit. A lot of times that little deflection will get a bite. You can make your own deflection strike if you don't have a log or a stump or the edge of a boat dock or something to run your bait into, but it's simply doing that to your rod tip every now and then. Just giving your rod tip a little jerk and make that bait act like it's hitting something or deflection. Sometimes that little deflection is the thing that triggers a strike. Guys and girls out there, go out there and have you a safe 4th of July holiday weekend. Eat lots of ice cream, eat lots of watermelon. We've got watermelons from our own garden. Can you believe it? I'm so excited about that. But eat lots of fruit, eat lots of vegetable, have lots of fun, because it's Independence Day in America. And if you got a few minutes, Google it up, read the Declaration of Independence. We all remember those famous words in there, that all men are created equal. We hold these truths to be self-evident, endowed to us by our Creator. Endowed to us by our Creator. It doesn't say all white men, all black men, all Indians, all Asians, all Spanish people. It says all men are created equal. You read the Declaration of Independence, you just get it at your heart what America really, really stands for. Guys and girls, I love you.